So let's chat a little bit better. Rahul Gautam, the MD at Sheela Foam, joins in to chat about all of this. Rahul, hi, morning. You've largely managed to outperform the industry in the last 5 odd years. Do you believe that you will be able to continue with that streak with the Sleepwell product?
Yeah, hi. Thank you very much for having me. At least that's our hope, that's our desire, that we should be able to do that, and we should be able to pull along the industry with us. At least the foundation and the groundwork is reasonably well laid out. Of course, the uncertainties and the volatilities in the market continue to bother us and probably all businesses.
Okay. What has been your understanding of the entire GST assumptions which market had? And let me tell you what the assumption was. The assumption was that GST will roll out, unorganized players will get crushed, organized players will become big, and the bigs will become bigger. What is your sense? You think, is the script moving as per what the general view was?
I think the script is moving in the right direction, but of course the pace of change is extremely slow, or at least slower than what we believed it should have been. Of course, if we take examples of some other countries where GST was rolled out before us, it has taken at least 3 to 4 years for a big change like this to kind of settle. As far as our industry is concerned, a larger part was in the unorganized sector, very little in the organized sector. I see the change happening. People are getting logged on to the network, are reporting their returns. However, on ground, everything to become absolutely clean and nice, I think it will take at least another year. And somewhere it's also a feeling that the implementation, the government is kind of holding back on that. It may be political reasons, which is also a reality. But however, the direction is absolutely right.
Give us an indication on the demand front, and whereas we get our understanding from FMCG companies is that the rural demand is back. Volume growth is back in all key categories. How would you identify the demand patterns for the category which you represent?
So we are a little different from FMCG. It's not a product which is needed every day, and it's also a product which generally people tend to buy more in a couple of years. So of course there would always be a bit of a lag between what FMCG companies are experiencing and what we experience. But having said that, I think there is, or at least we feel strongly that there is a lot of unserviced and unpenetrated markets which are existing, and those and all our efforts in those directions are beginning to show the impact on ground. So, and at least at some of the normal standard places where, let's say, mattresses are bought or pillows are bought, is during the marriage season, during people buying new houses and moving around. So that part of it, it continues. And let me say that the feeling is that it's happening. Actually, converting to numbers, our expectation is that this coming high season, which is from mid-October onwards, should be far better than what we have experienced in the last couple of high seasons.
Rahul, as a strategy, you've been betting big on exclusive brand outlets, exclusive distribution. What's the advantage of this kind of a structure as opposed to multi-brand outlets?
So look, all our earlier research showed that when you were in a multi-brand outlet, people would, or the dealers or retailers would actually use your brand to attract the customer or the consumer into the shop, and then convert them into some other product or some other brand, thereby earning more and more margin on that. And the consumer was shortchanged in the process. It was not a top-of-the-mind product, and therefore the dealer's brand or the dealer's word had a far bigger say than your own brand. We realized this a couple of years back and then started changing this to the exclusive side. And I must say that today almost about 95% of our sales are through exclusive outlets. It helps you to display the product properly. It helps you to explain the product. As I said, it's not a product that is bought every day, and therefore needs the consumer needs to be educated on that. What's the right product for them? All this was just not possible in an MBO situation. And anyway, our range is wide enough, both on the price segments as well as whatever the consumer wants, you know, whether it's a back support or an extra comfortable mattress, etc. The range is wide enough, and therefore there is enough choice for the consumer. And we are able to do our work better. The consumer gets a better product and the right product for them.
What is the threat to your business?
Sorry, I didn't get that.
Well, very simple question. What is the threat to your business?
Threat to my
business. Very simple. Sometimes, you know, simple questions are the most obvious.
Sorry, the last word is fading off.
No, my
threat to the business.
Yes, well, very simple question, but perhaps the most obvious one.
Yeah, threat to the business. Yeah, correct. So yes, the threat to the business, I think like most businesses, businesses don't want uncertainties and volatilities. And the experience that we've had on our raw material prices in the last couple of months, and it just doesn't seem to be stabilizing. Suddenly the dollar and the oil seems to have taken off. So that's the biggest threat that we have, is on the supply side. On the front end side of it, I don't see any threats. Even you know, sometimes these big stores which have come in, which people in our industry felt may be upsetting, but I strongly believe that stores like IKEA and all will only help to grow the market better because of the sheer low penetration of the market.
Indeed. But tell me, you know, we understand TDI prices have also eased this time around. But would you say that the rupee depreciation may have eliminated that relief for you?
So they have eased for sure. They have eased, but they haven't come down to the level that we would expect, because suddenly the dollar started, or the high value of dollar started playing around. We believe that in another 2 months' time it should kind of ease out a little more. But our constant effort is really to ensure that the products have lesser and lesser impacts of the raw material, which means continuously look at growing gross margins.
Appreciate your time. Thank you for joining us, and hope to see much more of you going forward.